we want to create some optimized content using some AI writers and writing tools like ZimmWriter and ChatGPT. We'll go over how to start out with Surfer SEO, or you can use Page Optimizer Pro or Cora or whichever on-page optimizing tool you prefer. There's some similarities between them. I like Surfer, so we'll go with that. Basically, start off, go to the content editor, and you're gonna hit the main keyword or the title of your article. So we would do things to do on Long Island. Now I already have it loaded down there, so don't have to hit enter. We'll click on here, and now you'll see the basic document setup, and all the keywords are on the right. Now we use this as a guide whenever we're creating content, or you hand this off to your writer, they would use this. And if you're not familiar with Surfer or similar tools, it'll tell you how many times to use a keyword. Again, just a guide. It's not the end all be all. So most of the times this would be more for the end optimization, or if you want to take your older blog articles, run it through here, optimize it even more to rank again. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get this keyword list exported, and then we'll import it into the other tools like ZimmWriter. So scroll up, and right about here, you can do download guidelines as a text file. And it's downloaded. Now you'll see here it is. This is the file, and all your text, all your keywords are right here. All right, that it recommends to use. So we'll go over to ZimmWriter and click on SEO blog writer. And then in here, we will type our title, which was things to do on Long Island, right? Now I'm running ZimmWriter on a Mac, so it would probably look a little different than some of you out there running it on Windows. But we'll scroll down. We'll come back to this stuff later. And right here where it says manual keywords, we'll take the text file, copy, paste from right here. It's okay, throw the numbers in there. It seems to work okay. All the keywords, get all that. Command C, Apple C, Command V, Apple V, paste. Or you could right click, paste. And then it puts it all in there, how many times they should be used. It's going to use that as a guide though. Doesn't always do the 5 to 10. Sometimes it is a little less, but at least this guides the AI before it does anything. Scroll up here. Now with ZimmWriter, we can copy the H2 from the clipboard. We could have, which I usually like to do this one, you generate the H2 usually using the AI. Works pretty well. It uses your OpenAI tokens, keep that in mind. You'll see exploring the beaches, visiting local museums, shopping and dining, outdoor activities, taking a day trip. All right, those are all right. Delete those though. Now let's scroll down to the bottom here. This is running the GPT model by default, the Text DaVinci 003, which is solid, which is what it's been running in the past versions of ZimmWriter. But now if you do have GPT-4 or the 3.5 Turbo access, you can click on that. It'll give you some higher quality content. So now that I have that set up, let's go back to the top. So we can, if you want, we tried the, generate that way. But for this one, what I like to do is check out the competition, check out what's going on. Let's see, on Google, things to do on Long Island. Let's go to a site. Let's see some examples here. All right, so this one's already ranking. So let's just take some ideas from here. So throw in Hamptons. And we also have these keywords here, so it'll all kind of make sense later. Lavender by the Bay. Let's see. Look for one at Jones Beach. There we go. That's a important one. Let's get that. That'll be heading. Actually, we could always change this. The H2s, it's set by default to 5. If you want, we can do more. We could do 7. We could do 10. Let's just do 7 for now. The more you do with the subheadings, the longer the content, obviously. So keep that in mind as well. You don't want like a 4,000 word article, or maybe you do. Blue Moon, let's see. You could be selective about what you want to add as a subheading. Just taking some that I think might make sense. Oh, aquarium. Island. So you get the idea. Just copy and paste. These are all good. Now, if I don't do 7, the AI will create the remaining. So right now I got 3. So this 6, we got 1 more. It'll just, I guess it'll make it up. Generate. And now it's using your tokens. All right. Kind of took that and it retitled, like for the Hamptons, it went with the beach escapes, outdoor adventures. For that, historical attractions makes sense. Let's see if we delete this again. Just curious. Try again. All right, now this one actually I like better. Exploring the Hamptons, visiting Jones Beach. Now we could have written this ourselves, but it's pretty cool. You can just drop those in there, see what's already been working, and it'll create that. Now we can also, in ZimmWriter, enable the H2 backgrounds. So the background, what this is good for is if you want to guide the AI even more. So we could go to that article, or I could go to Hamptons, Long Island, right? Could go to a Wikipedia page if you want, or anything else, any other article about it. And then you could copy and paste some stuff in there. So we could say, put that in here. And this will guide the AI of what to write in the Hamptons. It'll give you some more stuff. It'll give the AI a little more information, or if there's something that's maybe a little not something that's not as well known, that the AI won't be able to find. So we could put like Dan Papers, we copy and paste that in there, or something like let's see, a film. So say we want to put that in there. Maybe the AI will write about that movie, and you can do the same for all of these, but you don't need to. It's just something to play around with, and it is cool. So this really isn't going to be a complete rundown of ZimmWriter. There's plenty of great tutorials on that out there. He has a great channel, which will cover a lot of this stuff, but I figured while we were going over entering the keywords manually, we could go over some of this stuff too. So you want the section lengths, you want a different voice, you want it to be very personal, professional. Just leave it as none right now. You want literary devices. I like to keep that. I like to have lists, add tables. FAQs are very good. You can have a tease, so from one paragraph to the next, it'll tease the next paragraph. You want to click this, boost chance of detection is real. This way, if you're freaked out about AI detectors, click that. if you think it's important. Disable skinny paragraphs, audience personality, who you're going for. You can customize the writing style, Al Capone, whatever you like. Yeah, so most people will leave this automatic, but today we're doing the manual, and we're doing it in GPT-4. So scroll up, double check things to do on Long Island. We're doing 7 H2s. We could add H3s if we want. You could add more descriptions here. Just want to show you that one for now. And yeah, you can, if you want to make the H2s longer, we could go longer, but we'll just leave it like that. And you guys can play around with all this stuff, the different variables. There's a lot in here that you can do. I'm just giving you the basic stuff. Let's guide it with the keywords first and see what happens. And then you just hit Start SEO Writer. Okay, I'm going to, it takes 3 to 7 minutes. If it goes on, everything's fine. Don't blow up your computer, just wait. And then you'll see bottom right hand corner, it's writing the blog post. All right, the article is completed. So ZimmWriter produced it right here. Scroll up. It shows you a summary of that it used GPT-4 and that it cost about 0.47, like 50 cents for 2,677 words. So that's a pretty cool deal. If you wanted to run it in DaVinci, it would have been less, obviously, but we're going to try it with the GPT-4, and I think this is great value. What can you get for 50 cents now? So you got a nice article, hopefully. So it's good. Settings, it'll even give you a Midjourney AI prompt if you want to throw an image in there, and you just copy and paste this into Midjourney, create a nice photo. It gives you the description, a meta description that you put into the article. And then here's the article. Things to do on Long Island. Long Island's a perfect getaway for those looking to escape the hustle and bustle of New York City. Okay, with beaches, charming towns. All right, then it goes right to the Hamptons. Here we go, Jones Beach. So it brings that up there. We got the Aviation Museum. Again, in ZimmWriter, we could have it write longer content for the H2 sections, the subheading sections. But just for this demonstration, keep it short and sweet. Experience Long Island Aquarium. Gives you all that. Now make sure you guys fact check everything, because sometimes, often, there's at least one thing that's a little weird. They'll throw in like a random architect or a certain flower that grew in the garden that really wasn't there. Just want to check that. Fire Island. Cool. Put a little table in there. And then it goes over other attractions. Fire Island Lighthouse, Long Island Aquarium, but yeah, so we had Long Island Aquarium here. So I probably should have given it another H2, because then it created its own and it will repeat some things. Old Westbury Gardens, that would have been a good one to have as its own H2. Gives you a conclusion. All right, so we're all good here. So then what I like to do is, after ZimmWriter spits out the content, it does save it locally wherever your folder is on the on your hard drive. But I will copy and paste it. I'll take all this, select all, copy, and then you could open it into any text editor, word processing tool. I use Sublime Text for this. Just paste it in there. Get rid of all this. Actually, we can get rid of, yeah, let's just do this. Get rid of that. You could leave the meta description if you want. And then just save this as a text file. A text on your desktop. So now we have the text file. And you see all these hashtag pound, symbols. It's ready for formatting for H1s and H2s. You can go in there and edit it manually, but I like to have the text file. Let's get rid of that. So we have the text file here. Now go to a tool like a platform. AllDocs is really nice. So you can just drag and drop that text file in there and it will convert it into, well, when it works, it'll convert it into a nice Word document. Download. Now you can download it and then you see it automatically converts it. So it's nice and pretty. Now, the moment of truth, let's copy all this. Again, fact check everything, edit things. I probably would not publish this one the way it is because of the extra section it added. That kind of was repetitive on some things. Copy it. Go back to Surfer. Paste it in. And as you can see, it's already at a score of 60, which is great. If we just ran the article alone without giving it a little bit of the keyword guidance, it probably would have been a much lower on-page score. For those of you out there that have never used Surfer or similar tools, this is the ranking you want. Obviously 100 better, in the red, 0 not good, and it guides you on how to have an optimized article. So right now it's saying should have some more words. So if I made longer paragraphs in ZimmWriter, this score probably would have been the 70s, 80s, but we did it for shorter paragraphs, medium-sized paragraphs. And as you can tell, you see here, it hit most of the keywords that I put into Zim. That's great. Some are missing. You can go through it and edit as you go, but this gives you a head start doing it this way than just having ZimmWriter or the other AI tool write for you, and then you bring it over and it's a gamble. You might get a higher score. Yeah, that happens. But you probably start out with something lower and then you have to add more keywords. So at least we have a nice foundation. I find it, as long as you can get it like in the green, in the 70s, you're really good. You know, even this, you'll probably be fine, but it's very easy to go back in and just add some more keywords. So we got that. Another thing you can do is in Surfer or tool of your choice, go to the heading section and copy and paste these guys right into ZimmWriter or the other tool. And you can also focus more on the NLP, terms here. Try to get those in there. Definitely missed a bunch, and the more you give it, the better it'll be. So in ZimmWriter, if you do add more background info to each H2 section, it will guide the AI even more, and this score will go up. But you get the idea. And now for ChatGPT, or you can do it in the OpenAI playground as well. We can do what we did in ZimmWriter, same thing, but do it over in Chat, because I know a lot of people are using that right now as well. So let's open that again. All right, so there's a lot of different inputs, a lot of different prompts that you can use. As many of you already probably know, we'll just keep it basic. We can do write and optimize blog article about things to do on Long Island using these keywords. And then we just go in here, again, copy and paste what we exported from Surfer. I just copy and paste the whole thing. I think it still works, that you don't have to delete all the numbers, but do that. All right, make sure this is on GPT-4. Let's see what happens. Oh, all right, let's try again. Nope. All right. Let's copy and paste this, probably because I had the window open too long. Refresh. this is what happens. Paste it again. All right, so write an optimized blog article about things to do on Long Island using these keywords. There are the keywords. And you could also add to this in a tone or a voice of, a travel expert or Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know, whatever you want, but I'm just giving you the bare bone basics here. All right, let's see what it does. Now, the ChatGPT, for people that are not familiar with this platform, it is the $20 a month, and you can use it. It doesn't use tokens from your OpenAI account, but there is a limit. You can only go so far with it, and then you have to take a break, 'cause otherwise it freaks out. But you can also do this method in the OpenAI playground, and that will use your tokens. So it's already throwing in some of the keywords that we told it to include. Seems to be writing pretty well. You have some, they're very short paragraphs here. You could also, which actually I often do, I would have it set up an outline first with the keywords and then fine tune the outline, then have it write all this. Gives that conclusion. Sometimes I actually often like to just delete conclusion, this seems so cookie cutter. And if you want to have it continue writing, you can just type continue. If you go through this and you're like, hey, I want more on number 2, just say, write more about 2, and it'll rewrite more about Fire Island. Let's just take this for now and see what happens in Surfer. So we'll copy that. Let's delete what we have here. We have score 60. All right, so we got a 56 on that, So it's used, it got started on most of the keywords. So there you go. That's basically it on using keywords for chat and for ZimmWriter. Hopefully it gives you a good base to start working off of. And, the way I've been using the AI, and I think many people, is most people will go in and just ask it to write things without guiding it first. So giving it the keywords first kind of sets things up and directs it which way you want it to head. And it'll get you started on getting optimized. And then when we go back here, you want to get the score up, we can, go and have it write more about the Long Island Children's Museum. We could just throw that into Zim or Chat and just say, write more about this, write about this, a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, using these keywords, and just copy those certain keywords that you want. And it will, beef it up more and get the score higher. This score is not the be all end all, as long as the article is engaging the user, factually correct, you should be okay, and it will rank. It'll be, a solid article. And then you have others that are true writers, and they will use this as their foundation and write on top of it, just kind of jump into each paragraph and add more, reword. It just makes life a lot easier, quicker, gives you something to work off of, rather than just going in, how we used to do it was just, all right, here we are. We hand this off to the writer, start typing, and that's it. You start at 0. So let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.